guys, today I'm back doing an update video on my Stick Tight Fleas that I had on my chickens. It has been a little over a year ago. I've had them for 4 years, but a little over a year ago that I found a solution for them. And with due diligence and working hard at it and everything, I have pretty much eradicated them all. They are the worst things. Oh my gosh, I'll tell you what, if anybody ever gets them, and I don't know if you, so many people don't know what they are. They have a lot of different names like Hen Fleas, Stick Tight Fleas, you know, that I guess they're fleas that attach themselves like a tick, and they're super, super tiny, and they're mostly on birds and like reptiles, things like that, and that's how you'll get them at your barn or your place. And it is awful, just awful, because they're not like a normal flea. You can't eradicate them the same way. But I found a solution. You know, when I made my first video, which I will link down if you haven't watched it and you're new here, I will link that down below so you can find, you know, watch that. I'm gonna put Choco down for a minute. But the thing is with them is, when you look it up on how to kill them on chickens and stuff, the information is awful. And a lot of them say to catch each chicken and to pluck them off with tweezers, which is not happening. And even so, you still have to address your coop and everything else. Now, I have found out some things about Stick Tight Fleas, Hen Fleas. They really don't like living out in the open, like out in a pasture. So I had at one point I had a horse in the barn next to the chickens, and they were all in its box stall, and the horse got them all over its chest and head and ears and everything. And when I kicked that horse out in the pasture, they just mysteriously disappeared. And I've noticed that a lot. Now, I suggested using pyrethrins to get rid of the Stick Tight Fleas. And I ordered it in a concentrate. And in that first video, I showed you what I was doing. I was spraying every week. And anyways, I got rid of them completely in my hen house. And I don't have any on my chickens. But the neighboring pen, which is my goats, and I have my livestock dogs in there, we still have some in there. And they're not colonizing, and they're not like an infestation real bad. They do get on the dog's ears and their paws, and I have to go through and spray them and everything. Now, the goat pen is like 3 times the size of the chicken pen, with a big outdoor area and everything. I don't think the Stick Tight Fleas are in the outdoor area, but I can't seem to get rid of them in the actual goat pen. But I have not been spraying as much because it's such a big area, and I need to do that. And I do want to talk about this. My chickens have no fleas. No matter what, those Stick Tight Fleas will not come into my chicken pen. I don't know if they have memory and say, hey, we should not do that. But they do not go in there, and they do not get on my chickens. So that's a godsend right there. Now, I ran out of my regular pyrethrins, which I will link below, the one that I bought, because that one can be sprayed directly on your dogs and around chickens. It can't be sprayed around the cats or on the cats. It can be sprayed around if your cats aren't going to walk through it when it's wet. After it's dried, it's a lot more safer. But I wouldn't, you know, I still am very cautious where I'm spraying it. Like, the cats don't go in the chicken pen. They do go in the goat pen, but not in the areas where I would need to spray. But I did want to get on here and say, you need to order the one that I researched and got. Because this one, I was like, oh, I'm out of the concentrate, like a month ago. And I said, I need to jump on and order some really fast, because that, you know, my goats and dogs and everybody are full of fleas. So I jumped on there, and I just grabbed the first one I saw, thinking that it was the correct one, and it's not. This is, it says how much pyrethrins are in there, it's exactly what I need, but it also has 96% other ingredients. And the other ingredients kind of worried me. So I started, and there was nothing in here about spraying it on a dog or mixing it for livestock or anything. So I looked it up, and this is a premise spray only and not to be used on animals. So I will not be using this. It can be sprayed on your garden. It says it can be sprayed directly on the food and harvested the same day, which the other one says that too. But if the label does not tell me it can be used on livestock and dogs, I'm not going to use it. So let me get my phone. Shush up now. What I do is I read the label, because if you don't read your labels, I don't think I'm turning my phone down. If you don't read your labels and make sure that it's exactly the way you're going to use it, you shouldn't use it. You know, like it's toxic. Even though it's natural, it's still toxic. And boy, it will get rid of the fleas. So this one, I bought it on Amazon. It's organic gardening. I guess I could send it back. I might save it and use it around the garden at one point. I thought about spraying around my house for scorpions and stuff, because it works for that as well. I just worry about my little kitties, you know, if they walk through it, and it's definitely not made for animals. So anyways, this one they do sell at my local farm store. It is Flea Halt water-based flea and tick spray for dogs plus citronella scent for use on dogs and their premises. Insecticide and repellent controls fleas and brown dog ticks on premise. And it has, in the pyrethrins, it's 0.05%. And then it has that butyroxide, and it has permethrin as well, 0.10% and 0.50% of the butyroxide. And then other ingredient total is 99.35%, brings it to 100%. Now this says it can be sprayed directly on the dog. Anyways, this stuff does absolutely work. And like I said, it can be sprayed on the dogs. It can be sprayed around the area, livestock and everything. And I don't worry so much about it with my cats, because when it dries, it's not oily or anything like that. Like, I don't know what the other ingredient is in that other kind, and so I'm not sure if that's something that's going to stick around, or, you know. So anyways, I buy this at my local farm store. They do have this on Amazon, but it's like $13.99, and I pay $8.99 at my local farm store for it. Sometimes I find stuff on Amazon that's way cheaper than, you know, in our stores or Walmart or whatever, but in this case, it's more money, so I try to buy it there. Right now, our Amazon has been out. I mean, our Atwoods has been out for good month, because we have had so much rain. It is so humid here, and everybody has fleas and ticks so bad. Share this around if you have any friends that have stick tight fleas. It's a very rare thing. This is probably not going to be a viral topic or anything like that, because I have never heard of them all these years until I got them, and it's a horrible thing. So if you ever come up with this, or you know somebody who does, share this video, because there's not a lot of information out there about how to get rid of them. And some of the information that, like, a lot of universities and stuff give you to catch each chicken and tweeze them off. Well, you cannot tweeze them off. Some of them that are like newborns that are attached are so tiny and so hard to get off. Now, some of the bigger adults, you can get a hold of them. And also, like, chicken skin is not, so, you know, like, you end up pinching their skin and pulling it. It's so wrinkly, and it's just not, you know. Now, the Vaseline you can do. It says to smother them in Vaseline, and that does work. Like, I smother them in all my different salves that I make and sell, and it does work. But I hate to get that in their eyes, like, so, you know, because you have to do it quite often that way. With the pyrethrins, you can just do it once a week and be done with it. And I waited at night until my chickens went to bed, and then I went in with a spray bottle like this and just misted it all over them, and they were asleep, and hopefully their eyes were closed. I don't know, but I misted it, and it all fell down on their heads and everything, and within just a couple of weeks, I didn't see a flea in there. But I kept it up because the first year I think I did it, I would back off and then they'd come back. That's how I learned you've got to do it weekly. And I think I did it throughout the summer. I probably did it at least 12 weeks, at least. But anyways, share it around if you know anybody that needs it, and we will talk to you later. Bye.